thought last year was our biggest year, but this year is actually our biggest year.
In addition to some high quality art, this year we're going to be honoring BedStuy Legends and Legacies. So we wanted to honor some folks who have had a lasting impact. We want to give folks their flowers while they are here to receive it, because these are folks who you can see walking down the streets of BedStuy today.
Legacy for me is ripples. I think of it as like a pebble in an ocean and the ripples.
STooPS Art Crawl, folks. Let's huddle up here before we proceed to our next stop. So we are currently on Stuyvesant Avenue, for those of you who know. And if you look right across the street where that beautiful archway with stained glass is, that is actually Jackie Robinson's former home.
How I chose the legends for this year is I really wanted to think about who are the folks who I could see the ripples of their work throughout the neighborhood.
As a legend, Monique Greenwood, let's go ahead.
I am truly honored that STooPS would recognize and see me. I have lived in Bedford-Stuyvesant now for nearly 35 years. I discovered the community basically on a Brownstoner's house tour. I came, I fell in love with the Brownstones, I fell in love with the Brown people, and decided that this is where I wanted to call home. Quickly after being here as a resident, I became a business owner, turning a residence into a bed and breakfast on McDonough Street.
Black businesses have always been a staple of this community. Tompkins Avenue and what we coined Black Girl Magic Road, it built on the foundation that came from Lewis Avenue and Monique Greenwood's work, having almost a cohort of Black-owned, women-owned businesses brought thousands of people to Bedford-Stuyvesant. It also became an economic engine for this community.
Sometimes you see a ripple or you see a wave and you may not necessarily know the source, but as you start to dig deeper, you're like, oh, okay. So one of those entities or pillars for me is the East. The person who we have representing the East, Lumumba Bandele, his parents were some of the founders of the East. I connect the East to Black Girl Magic Road because the East was about community development through commerce, through education, and through the arts.
So we're gonna move to the next stop. The artist's name is Aaliyah Maya. And so we're gonna enjoy her fiber arts here on Bainbridge. Come on, let's go.
I'm African American and Haitian, and this is to commemorate all the people that came before me and all they had to go through. And I want to represent them in a colorful way, not just something that's sad and something that was dark in the past, but something that has liberated us.
Go BedStuy! Go BedStuy! Go BedStuy!
So the people demand to be fed. A platter of pig heads delivered to our doorstep.
Say what they want to say, but they can't keep us down.
Legacy has everything to do with celebrating the foundation that one has been nourished by and one stands on. I learned to play in the streets of Bed-Stuy. As a result of that, I've had a career that has taken me around the world. To come back to Bed-Stuy and to have the younger generations recognize me, it's really important.
So our family has been in Bedford-Stuyvesant to date 88 years. We're teaching our children the importance of ownership and having a place in the world. And an example of that is the Brownstoners of Bedford-Stuyvesant. And I've been a member for 30 years, and I learned through them the importance of community, sharing, and bringing Bedford-Stuyvesant to life.
I remember when we used to sit on the Bed-Stuy stools before the rent got high.
My mom purchased her first brownstone in 1984. And that's what's made the difference in terms of the trajectory of our family. This presence of mind, this mentality of Black ownership.
Let's give it up for them.
I actually do remember the moment when my daughter expressed an interest in doing something in this community. She said, I want to open a retail space. My mom responded by saying, well, let's find a building that has a commercial space. And subsequently, Kai opened Sincerely Tommy on Tompkins Avenue. I'm happy to see younger generations having the awareness and the presence of mind to say we need to have something that is a reflection of us and who we are for our children so that all is not lost.
They Christopher Columbus stopped blocks in our wallets, but the only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace. Said the only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace. The only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace. Thought so.
For me, it's important to use STooPS as a platform to really highlight not only these legends that have really impacted this neighborhood, but the legacies that are coming up, because we're still producing legends, yeah? They're just on their way, like us.